Okay, so sorry about the wait. I've been in, it's been a busy few days since Bill slipped out of his skin. Speaking of which, it's still undetermined whether or not Bill could be considered the same being as whatever crawled out of his skin. Some of you suggested that I tell TD, and I very much intended to. I just have other things to deal with. Also, there were no transfers today, which is weird considering it's happened every 3 days for, at least a decade. Been having trouble sleeping. Every time I close my eyes, I see that doll. I've seen it around my house, which is worrying to say the least. Done more interviews with the inmates, so as I can put it together. Here's what I've gathered about who or what these people are. Fred was born, according to him, around 1836. He also claims to have committed several murders since 1880. Several victims, including 2 in the December of 1968. He cites those as his favorites. He's nearly 200 years old by his own accounts. Mary claims to be a nun, a woman of the cloth. She said that she was born in 1883 and did what she did for the Lord. Apparently, she'd converted the wealthy in order for them to give their money to the church. She also said that she's no Catholic, but a Greek Orthodox. Chad, I gave a notebook to communicate with. Below is what he said. "Why are you here?" Chad wrote, "Troubles with women." We've all been there, I followed up by asking, "Where were you born? What year?" His response, "I was born in Burlington, Vermont, 1946. Certainly didn't look that old." I thanked him for his time, gave him his green liquid, and moved on. Finally, we have little Lisa. Lisa insistently claims she was born in 1681 in Massachusetts. She also said she misses her cousin, Betty. That's all I got out of her before she returned to her coloring book. It doesn't please me that she's easily the oldest of the bunch. Hang on a second. I just saw something in the camera. It's much bigger than the cages. It may be about 7 feet tall. It's completely devoid of hair or pigment. What caught my eye, however, was the oxygen tank on its back. I'm looking at number 8. I quickly pressed the alarm button and looked back up at the camera. Its face was right in the camera, and it was definitely the face of Bill, grinning ear to rotten ear. Even in the camera, I could tell how decayed its teeth were. The feed was cut out, and then the power. A couple seconds later, the feed turned back on, but the lights didn't. I'm guessing this was an extra security measure. I grabbed the weapon at my station, locked the door, grabbed my security walkie-talkie, and waited. Weapon aimed at the door. It had to be maybe 5 hours before TD entered the room. The security team did show up 2 hours ago, in fact, but they had vanished without a trace. Missing? What do you mean missing? I said, feeling sleep deprived even though I had plenty of sleep. They arrived on the site and didn't check back in. Sighing, I scratched the back of my head. I've had it with this sorcery shit. Okay, what are we keeping here? I finally asked, as TD studied the monitors. Monsters, he said matter-of-factly. Things that have to be dealt with by any means necessary. He paused. What's that in cage 7? The doll? Yeah, the doll. Where did it come from? It's been there for a few days now, since number 8 came in. Why are you telling me this now? He demanded with a look of fear and anger etched across his face. Well, between us, I stopped myself. Since number 7 went missing, then number 8, I figured it rated low on a list of concerns. He sighed. The power was cut. There's a backup generator. Grab the gun, come with me. My supervisor ordered me. I guess I didn't have much of a choice. I have to stop here for now. It's not a good idea to keep writing with the lights being out. Update. All right, I'm still alive. Barely. 4 of them had broken out, as is the thing I'm assuming at one point was number 8. Mary, Bob, and Chad are all under containment, by their own choice, no less. The building is in full lockdown, and he ordered every available security personnel to come immediately. I intended to post this yesterday, but, yeah, you know, life and death. Monsters wanting to eat my bones. Priorities, you know. TD and I managed to restore power, but I can't leave. Not that I would go out to, with these guys out and about. I'm currently in my office with TD, who's watching the monitors. I filled him in on the whole duplicate of me on the ceiling thing and the doll. His walkie just sprang to life. I'm not sure, but I believe they said Cerberus is on site doing a full sweep of Sector 6, and I'll be at your position in 2 minutes. TD breathed a sigh of relief. Cerberus, thank fuck. What's Cerberus? I asked. Well, they're what's gonna get us out of here. He grabbed his walkie. Roger that, Cerberus. We're in security room Foxtrot. Subjects are out of containment with the exception of number 4, number 5, and number 6. You have permission to terminate any of the others on site. Also, be advised, there may be 2 hostile entities with subject 7. Terminate all on site. Roger that. Then there was radio silence. I kind of regret looking over as he grabbed it, though, because I realize how tired I am. But I'm not crazy. TD's face wasn't there anymore. There was a mass of flesh and writhing muscle. 2 grotesque horns were buried in his forehead. As I blinked, his face was changed to a vaguely aged look that I was familiar with. I have to go now. Cerberus just arrived, but can any of you please tell me, what the fuck was I locked in the room with? You know, if I survive this, I'm gonna ask for a raise. Or actual lethal weaponry, instead of rubber bullets. My job, up until last week, was watching people in cages. No questions asked. But then cage number 8 arrived, and now I'm more concerned about getting out of here than performing my job dutifully. Cerberus is still searching for the escaped. We found out what was left of the initial security response. They were mauled by something, limbs strewn all around, bite marks, that sort of thing. If I had to guess, I'd say Cassie or Bill got to them. Initially, anyway. The lack of blood suggests Fred as well, but he was never one for dismemberments. Did I mention the initial response was around 10 to 15 guys? It's kind of important. Cerberus, meanwhile, is 4 men, which is odd in itself. I don't even know their names. Their faces were completely obscured, and they were wearing riot gear. From what I heard, they go by code names W, F, P, and D. D is to be the leader of the pack. Despite there only being 4 of them, TD seemed confident they'll round up or exterminate the others. Either way, I'm not sure I trust TD anymore, not after what I saw. I'm not allowed to leave, so in the meantime, I've been piecing together what actually is going on down here, which, to be honest, isn't going well. I'm still confused as to what these people are. I mean, shit. I just heard gunfire. Alright, well, that is something. They found Cassie. She shook off about 30 seconds of shots from assault rifles. She's back in containment, as they could do little more than incapacitate her. One down, I guess. TD has gone missing, though. Cerberus sent F to watch me. Guess they don't trust the normal security guard. Kind of assholes, in all honesty. I'm really hungry. I asked F to let me get some food from the cafeteria area, but he denied it with a head shake and pointed to my chair, so I'm just writing now to clear my head. It's getting harder to concentrate if I'm being frank with you guys. I mean, wouldn't you be a little freaked out in my situation? At any rate, what really concerns me is our doll friend has shown up in my office. F doesn't seem to notice or care about it. Maybe TD hadn't briefed these guys, or maybe I'm finally losing it. God, I'm hungry. And you know what's funny? I can't remember anything before last Saturday. The day they added cage number 8. I guess there was something up from the get-go. I mean, but the pay was so good. I needed the money. And at 14 years, it was relatively peaceful, you know? Relatively being the operative word. Or was it? I can't be sure anymore. Everything before last Saturday is a blank. Stress will do that, I suppose. Simple job, watch people in cages, get paid $500. I need food. I haven't eaten in what feels like days. I'm not dying here. Update. I can't. I can't believe what I did. So I convinced F to let me go check on the contained subjects, feed them, etc. I took my weapon with me just in case, and I was just so hungry. So I ate some of the meat that we give to Cassie. And, you know, I know it's human, but I needed food, okay? I ate yesterday, but I felt like I was starving. I needed it. More than that monster did, and you know what? You know what the worst part was? I liked the taste. I mean, it was raw meat, but it wasn't bad. It tasted sort of like pork, so I ate more. It wasn't until TD appeared out of nowhere that I realized I'd been there for hours, gorging myself. I wasn't hungry anymore, but I couldn't stop myself. TD pulled me away from the flesh feast and told me that they'd killed Fred. He didn't seem fazed by my actions, instead irritated that I left my post. And F wasn't there when I returned, but the dog was. And just like the other day, TD didn't see it, even though he did yesterday. I asked, and he turned to leave. What are you? He stopped. Come again? What are you? He raked his nails on the door frame as he stood in place. His fingers bled a bit as he did. I'm just a guy doing his job. Same as you. Well, that didn't satisfy me, so I hit him in the back of the head with my rifle. It didn't even make him flinch. He turned to face me with a look of horrifying calm. You know, I liked you. A lot more than the previous guard. The grotesque mass of muscle and flesh flashed in my mind, and I fell to the floor. The mask was gone as whatever this thing was walked towards me. I'm doing a job that was given to me, and I need help doing it. All you have to fucking do is watch those monitors and keep your fucking mouth shut, he said. But I heard thousands of voices scream it within my mind. Do I make myself clear? His voice returned to normal. You're a monster. Oh, look at you. Finally figured that one out, eh? Well, not quite. I'm more like the monster, Lightbringer, Prince of Lies, etc., he said with mocking amusement, lackadaisical gestures with his hands. Look, I'm not the bad guy here. No, in fact, I'm doing my best to keep them here, and for the sake of mankind, I suggest you do the same. He patted me on the cheek and left the room. I ran for the door, but it was locked behind him. So, yeah, I'm working for the devil himself. How fun. Should have suspected that from the beginning, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm gonna get some sleep. I'll update you all later. Update. I woke up to more gunfire. They found Earl. His normal short hair was longer now, and he had no issues shrugging off bullets. In fact, he broke a gun over his knee. At least that's what I heard over the radio chatter. They had restrained him via a horse tranquilizer, don't know why they had it either, cut his hair, then locked him back up. That explains the hair tonic rule. Lisa and Bill are still missing, but I'm more concerned with getting out of here at this point. I managed to pick the lock. See, I always keep this like bobby pin on me. I'm going to say I'm a bit of paranoid at this point, and I'm going to lift the lockdown at one of the exits. Here's hoping I make it. Update. All right, I figured you guys would like me to keep you updated. I mean, I have my phone with me for that very purpose. If I know this building well, I should be able to find the exit. Cerberus is patrolling for me, at least I think they are. I saw more security staff coming in with equipment. Managed to hide out of sight. My only option is going out the exit they take with the people they take away. I'll update that later. 1. I found it. And I wish I hadn't. I really wish I hadn't. The door they take people out of? Well, there were stairs beneath them. The stairs descended far below the building. The smell of sulfur was overpowering, but I decided that it was my only option. I'd been spotted by one of the Cerberus, so I ran through the door. I still hear them trying to get in. I locked it behind me. See, the dark pit was seemingly endless, but as I got lower, after hours of walking, I heard it. Screams. Millions upon millions of screams of agony, and the heat. Jesus Christ, the heat. Like the fires of hell, which coincidentally, I do believe that's what it was. I tried to turn around, but a grip, like a fiery hand, grasped my ankle. It tried to pull me down the remainder of the stairs, but I managed to slip away. I ran as fast as I could, back up the stairwell, which they did not come down after all, so I descended for nothing. Went back through, I found the building seemingly long abandoned. Walls covered in long dried blood and scorch marks. What the fuck? I came through the right door, hadn't I? I turned to leave, but the door had vanished. I heard a voice behind me. Going somewhere. I turned and saw TD smiling ear to ear. Come on, follow me. Where are we? It's another of our locations with significantly less success. I followed behind him and I noticed the mask had slipped more. His entire left arm was covered in burn marks. His shirt was torn, revealing 2 scars on his back. His face was now continually shifting, much more noticeable than ever before. Gone was the aging movie star look. It just felt like pure darkness radiating from him. Think of me as someone who is disciplining some particularly mean children. They were naughty. They broke the rules. So I gave them timeouts, he said, his voice deepening with every syllable. Oh, and don't think I don't know what you've been doing. You've been breaking the rules yourself, haven't you? He snapped his fingers, and we were back in my office, in the normal facility. He finally spoke. We found number 7 and number 8. Once we capture them, you are free to leave. You're going to help. I followed TD to a room. On either side, blood and entrails coated that room. Security teams ripped apart. In the center of the carnage was a 6-year-old girl and a monstrous creature with an oxygen tank on its back. And then everything went black. My job was to watch people in cages. 7 cages. 7 people. Each with different rules attached. My boss was a guy named TD. Now there's 9 cages. One of them is empty. The 9th cage holds a male occupant. He's about 5'8". He has to be fed cooked meat and water daily. Furthermore, he's allowed daily internet access for 1 hour. The cages are a bit cramped, but you get used to it. I used to watch people in cages. Hey there kids, it's me, Mrcreepypasta, and I just wanted to tell you thank you so much for watching tonight's video. And if you are interested in getting a nice, warm beverage while listening to Mrcreepypasta Storytime, you can always check out my wife's tea shop. It's etsy.com/shop/ivory monocle tea. The Ivory Monocle Tea Shop has different kinds of teas, from Dungeons and Dragons to anime to Final Fantasy to creepypastas. You can actually get a creepypasta tea set that features a Mr. Creepypasta tea. It's the tea that I generally have here at my desk as I'm recording. And you can actually request, after you order one, to get the special dabbing MCP sticker, which is the one that I use. And a very special thank you to everybody on that Patreon, patreon.com/MrCreepypasta, especially Ariel Torres, Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Ken Lando Higuchi, Brianna Van Tine-Janzen, Chompski, TheRedOakShieldVirus, Sindee Barney, Asia, G Weevil 3, Diana Kraus, Stephen VanHuss, Tristain Pelton, Nico, kaeo, TheGingerBroz, Dante Rowe, Raphael Rodriguez, Don Meulmeester, Eliminator 86, SteampunkSinner, Kaleb Dougal, Sky Harbor, The Homeless Bird 93, Gabrielle Undefined, Bobby Carmen, Liam Newman, Aaron Stormcrow, Bobby Jean Torgan, Dr. Strawberry, The Wormhole, Barbara Macedo, and Vic. Thank you guys so much, and if anyone would like to join them on that list, head over to patreon.com/MrCreepypasta. Here's hoping that you guys are loving the horror as much as I am. And sweet dreams.